The saleswoman crossed the showroom floor with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Are you sure you're in the right place, ma'am? Because our pieces are a bit different than what you might be used to." Maria held the strap of her purse tightly, felt the baby stir in her belly, and for the first time that September morning, she understood she wasn't just there to buy a dress. She was there to decide what kind of world her son would be born into. Before we dive into this story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 10 and tell us which city you're watching from. May this moment bring reflection and emotion to your heart. Maria Johnson woke up that Friday with a strange feeling in her chest. It wasn't just the exhaustion from the final months of pregnancy, nor the weight of sleepless nights. It was something different, a mix of anticipation and nervousness she couldn't quite name. At 7 months pregnant, every movement was slower, every decision seemed to carry a greater weight, and this day, especially, needed to be perfect. On the other side of the bed, still empty since Richard had left for a long-haul trucking job, the alarm clock read 6:30 in the morning. Sunlight streamed through the window of their simple apartment in the Bronx, New York, illuminating the walls she herself had painted white years ago, back when she dreamed of a life different from the one she had now. She got up with difficulty, pressing her hands into the small of her back. The bathroom mirror reflected back a 32-year-old woman, her dark skin glowing even without makeup, her coily hair tied in a casual bun, her brown eyes holding more stories than should be possible for someone so young. Maria placed a hand on her belly and smiled. "Good morning, my love. Today's a big day," she whispered to the baby, as she did every morning since discovering she was pregnant. The reason for all the anticipation had a name, Ryan. Not the son who was yet to come, but Ryan Miller, the young man Maria had raised as if he were her own blood. Ryan was the son of her cousin Joanna, who had passed away when he was only 3. Maria, just 23 at the time, didn't think twice before taking the child in. She had no stability, no extra money, but she had more than enough love and an unshakable certainty that she would not let that boy grow up without a family. And now, 9 years later, Ryan was graduating with a degree in civil engineering from New York University. The first in their family to set foot in a university, the first to achieve something that seemed so far from their reality. Maria had worked double time all those years, housekeeping jobs in 3 different homes, cleaning offices on weekends, sewing late into the night to supplement her income. Every penny was directed so that Ryan could study, have books, have an old but functional computer, have a chance to dream. When she found out she was pregnant, already married to Richard, a good man who spent more time on the road than at home, Maria was scared. Scared she couldn't handle it, scared she wouldn't have the strength, scared that the coming baby would take something away from Ryan that he needed. But Ryan, now a 27-year-old man, hugged her tight the day she told him and said just one sentence that Maria would never forget. "This baby is going to have the best mom in the world because I did." The graduation ceremony would be on Saturday, on campus, with a view of the city skyline. Ryan had insisted that Maria had to look beautiful, that she deserved something special. "Auntie, I'm going to honor you. I'm mentioning you in my speech. You have to look impeccable," he had said 2 weeks earlier. And with that smile that still held a bit of the boy he once was, Maria had resisted. "Honey, you don't need to spend money on that. I have a nice dress saved." But Ryan was firm. "I don't want to hear it. You're going to a good store and buying something beautiful. The money from my internship is saved for exactly this." And so Maria found herself, on that September morning, preparing to go to the Upper East Side, to a neighborhood that wasn't hers, to a store Ryan had researched that, according to him, had elegant dresses for special occasions. The boutique's name was something French that Maria could barely pronounce, Madame Lavigne. After a simple breakfast, toast with butter and drip coffee, Maria dressed with care. She chose a pair of maternity jeans with an elastic waistband that accommodated her belly, and a light blue blouse, simple but clean. She tied her hair in a low bun, applied a rosy lipstick, and slipped on the black flats she wore everywhere. She looked at herself in the mirror one last time and took a deep breath. "You can do this," she told herself. The subway ride to the Upper East Side took almost an hour and a half. Maria stood, holding tight to a support bar as the train swayed around curves. No one offered her a seat, despite her obvious pregnancy. She was used to it. She got off on Madison Avenue and walked 3 blocks until she found the boutique. The storefront was intimidating. Enormous glass windows, elegant mannequins dressed in pieces that looked like works of art, a mirrored glass door that reflected her own image back at her. Maria hesitated for a moment, her hand on the handle. Then she remembered Ryan's face when he talked about graduation, the pride in his eyes, and she pushed the door open. The cold air conditioning hit her full force, bringing with it a sweet, strong perfume that filled the space. The showroom was large, with racks of clothes strategically arranged, a velvet sofa in the center, and mirrors everywhere. There were only 2 other customers being helped, both white, thin, wearing clothes that probably cost more than Maria's rent. The available saleswoman, a blonde woman in her 40s, with flawless makeup, wearing a tight black outfit, lifted her eyes toward Maria. The smile she offered was perfunctory, cold, the kind that doesn't reach the eyes. "Good morning. May I help you?" The question was loaded with an intonation Maria knew well. It wasn't a genuine offer of help. It was an assessment. "Good morning, I'm looking for a dress for a graduation," Maria replied, forcing her voice to sound steady. The saleswoman took 2 steps toward her, her eyes doing a quick scan. The belly, the simple clothes, the imitation handbag, the worn flats. Maria saw the judgment happen in real time, as she had seen it so many times before in her life. "I see. A graduation." The pause was intentional. "Are you sure you're in the right place, ma'am? Because our pieces are a bit different than what you might be used to." Maria's blood ran cold. She knew exactly what those words meant. She knew every subtext, every insinuation. People like you don't belong here. People like you can't afford this. People like you should look in simpler stores. "Yes, I'm sure. My nephew researched and recommended this store," she answered, her voice now a little shaky. The saleswoman, whose name tag read Emily, let out an almost imperceptible sigh. "Oh, I see. Well, our pieces are couture, imported. The prices start at around $3,000. The sentence was delivered slowly, with emphasis on each word, as if Maria couldn't comprehend numbers, as if she were being warned of a mistake she was about to make. "That's fine," Maria said, her throat tightening. Emily frowned slightly, clearly not expecting that response. "How many months pregnant are you?" 7. "Ah, so you need something that fits now but won't fit later." Another calculated pause. "Perhaps it would be better to find something more practical. There's a department store over on 34th Street that should have more suitable options for your situation." Maria felt the baby kick, as if it were also indignant. She instinctively placed a hand on her belly, seeking comfort in the movement. The saleswoman's words echoed in her head. "Your situation." As if being pregnant, black, and wearing simple clothes was a situation that needed to be managed. "I'd like to see the dresses here, please," Maria insisted, but her voice didn't come out as firm as she would have liked. Emily exchanged a look with the other saleswoman, who was helping one of the customers on the other side of the showroom, a look that said it all. "Here we go again. Very well, come with me." The tone was that of someone doing a huge favor. Maria was led to a rack in the back of the store. The pieces there were visibly simpler than those in the window or on the front racks. Dresses in neutral colors, more basic cuts, fabrics that didn't have the same luxurious drape as the others. "These are the options we have in larger sizes," Emily said, emphasizing the word larger, as if she were talking about something inappropriate. Maria ran her fingers over a gray dress, then a beige one. They were nice, but they weren't what she wanted. On the front rack she had seen a navy blue dress with delicate lace at the neckline and 3/4 sleeves. It was exactly what she was looking for. Elegant, but not over the top. Perfect for a formal ceremony. "What about that one up front?" Maria pointed. Emily didn't even turn to look. "We don't have that in your size. And it's a more expensive piece. Can I at least try it on, see if it fits?" The saleswoman sighed again, this time without hiding her annoyance. "Ma'am, I really think you're wasting your time. That piece is $4,800, and it's very form-fitting. With your belly, it won't fit." That was the last straw. It wasn't so much the refusal to let her try it on. It was the way Emily said "your belly," with a mix of disgust and condescension, as if Maria were a stubborn child who needed to be put in her place. "Why don't you have a seat over there?" Emily pointed to a chair in the corner near the fitting rooms. "I'm going to help this other client and I'll be back to resolve your situation." Resolve your situation. The words hurt more than Maria wanted to admit. She walked to the indicated chair, away from the main flow of the store, almost hidden. She sat down heavily, her body tired and her soul even more so. From her spot, she could see the other customers being attended to with full attention, being offered champagne and water, being treated like queens. She, Maria, pregnant and tired after an hour-and-a-half subway ride, hadn't even been offered a glass of water. She closed her eyes for a moment and took a deep breath. The baby moved again, and this time she felt something different. It wasn't just a kick. It was as if the child she carried was saying, "I'm here, you're not alone." And it was in that moment that Maria understood. She wasn't just there for Ryan. She was there for this baby too. She was there to prove, to herself, to the world, that she deserved to occupy any space, wear any dress, be treated with dignity anywhere. Not for the money she had or didn't have, but simply for being human. She opened her eyes and saw Emily laughing at something another client had said, completely oblivious to the pregnant black woman sitting in the corner, waiting. Maria felt an anger rise within her, not a destructive anger, but an anger that came from dignity, from self-love, from the refusal to accept that her place was there, hidden, diminished, erased. She stood up slowly, straightened her blouse and walked toward the door. "Leaving already?" Emily asked, without real interest. "I am," Maria answered, her voice now as firm as a rock. "But not because I don't have the money. I'm leaving because this store doesn't deserve customers like me." And she walked out, leaving behind a showroom of surprised looks and an absolute certainty. She would find a beautiful dress, she would be treated with respect, and she would be at Ryan's graduation as the queen she had always been, even when the world tried to convince her otherwise. Madison Avenue was bustling when Maria left the Madame Levine boutique. People hurried past, shopping bags in hand, talking on their phones, the typical rush of a Friday in Manhattan. Maria stopped on the sidewalk, still processing what had just happened. The humiliation burned like fire in her throat, but she refused to cry there in the middle of the street, giving passers-by the chance to see her as a victim. She leaned against the wall of a building and pulled her phone from her purse. There were 3 texts from Ryan. "Auntie, did you go to the store yet? Don't forget to try on lots of styles. Send me a pic of the one you choose." Maria felt a lump in her chest. How would she tell her nephew what she had experienced? How could she say she'd been treated as if she didn't belong, judged for the color of her skin, her simple clothes, her pregnant belly? Ryan would be furious. He would probably go to the store and demand an explanation. And Maria didn't want that. She didn't want his graduation day, which should be nothing but joy, to be tainted by anger and indignation. She took a deep breath and typed a quick reply. "Still looking. I'll let you know soon." A lie, but a necessary one. She put her phone away and looked around. There were other stores on the same street, boutiques, department stores, but Maria felt exhausted. It wasn't physical fatigue, though her legs ached and her back begged for a bed. It was soul weariness, the exhaustion of having to prove she deserved to exist, the exhaustion of carrying the weight of being judged before she even opened her mouth. "Are you all right?" Maria looked up to see a woman in her 50s, black like her, with graying hair in long braids, wearing a colorful printed dress and flat sandals. She was holding a cloth bag with vegetables and looking at Maria with genuine concern. "I'm fine, thank you," Maria replied, trying to smile. "Are you sure? You look pale, and you're pregnant. Do you need to sit down, have some water?" the woman insisted, lightly touching Maria's arm. There was something in the touch, in the voice, in the presence of this stranger that disarmed Maria. Maybe it was the fact that she was the first person that morning to treat her with basic humanity. Maybe it was the exhaustion. Maybe it was simply the accumulation of years of resistance that needed a crack to break through. Maria's eyes filled with tears. I just came from a store." And they treated me like I was nothing, like I didn't deserve to be there. Just because I'm black, pregnant and not wearing designer clothes. The woman sighed, a sigh that carried recognition. Madame Lavigne, Maria's eyes widened. How did you know? My daughter went through the same thing 3 months ago. Went in there to buy a bridesmaid dress. She had the money, had the credit card in her hand. But the saleswoman practically pushed her out, suggesting she look for more suitable places. The woman shook her head sadly. It's more common than we'd like to think. Maria wiped her tears with the back of her hand. I just wanted a nice dress for my nephew's graduation. He's like a son to me, you know. I worked my whole life so he could study, and now he's graduating as an engineer. He's going to honor me at the ceremony. And I just wanted to feel beautiful, to feel worthy. You are already worthy, honey. The problem isn't you. It's this world that insists on putting us down. The woman took a paper napkin from her own bag and offered it to Maria. But listen to me. There's a shop on a side street just around the corner. It's called Essence. It's owned by a friend of mine, Constance. She helps the customers herself, and I guarantee you'll be treated the way you deserve. You can go there and tell her Mrs. Louise sent you. Maria looked at the woman as if she was seeing an angel. Thank you so much. Seriously. Thank you. Mrs. Louise smiled. We black women have to lift each other up, honey. Now you go in there and buy the most beautiful dress they have. And don't you ever let anyone make you feel small again. They shared a quick hug, a hug of silent sisterhood, and then Mrs. Louise went on her way. Maria stood there for a few more moments, gathering her strength, and then walked in the direction she was pointed. The Essence boutique was much smaller than Madame Lavigne. The storefront was simple, with a window displaying 3 mannequins in elegant but accessible pieces. When Maria opened the door, there was no cloying perfume or glacial air conditioning. There was soft music playing quietly and the light scent of lavender. Good afternoon. Welcome. The voice came from a black woman in her 60s with short, natural hair, wearing colorful glasses and a flowing white dress. She approached Maria with a genuine smile, the kind that reaches the eyes and lights up the whole face. Good afternoon, Maria replied, still wary. My name is Constance, and you are? Maria. A pleasure, Maria. First time here? Yes, Mrs. Louise sent me. Constance's face lit up even more. Oh, Louise, what a wonderful woman. If she sent you here, it's because she knows we'll take good care of you. Would you like to sit for a moment, have some water, some juice? Maria felt her chin tremble. I'm 7 months pregnant. I'm looking for a dress for my nephew's graduation on Saturday. A graduation? How wonderful. You must be so proud. Constance gently touched Maria's arm. Come, sit here. I'll bring you some cold water, and we can talk calmly about what you're looking for. Maria sat on a comfortable sofa in the center of the store. It was a welcoming space, with plants on the shelves, framed photos of black women of all ages wearing pieces from the store, and a playlist of smooth R&B. Constance brought not only the water, but also a small plate of shortbread cookies. Thank you, Maria whispered, moved. Of course, honey. Now tell me, what kind of dress are you imagining? What color? What style? For the first time that day, Maria felt comfortable enough to talk about what she really wanted. She described the navy blue dress she had seen in the other store, talked about the ceremony, about Ryan, about how she wanted to look beautiful but comfortable, elegant but not over the top. Constance listened with genuine attention, asking questions, jotting down details in a small notebook. When Maria finished speaking, she smiled. I have exactly what you need. Come with me. They walked to a rack of midi dresses. Constance pulled out 3 options, a navy blue one with discreet lace, an emerald green one with draping at the waist, and a wine-colored one with elbow-length sleeves and an A-line skirt. These 3 flatter a pregnant body without being tight. The fabric has some stretch, so they're super comfortable. And look at this navy blue one. It's practically what you described, isn't it? Maria took the blue dress with trembling hands. It was beautiful, even more beautiful than the one at the other boutique. The fabric was soft, the cut perfect. It had a neckline that was neither too conservative nor too daring, and the three-quarter sleeves she wanted so much. "Would you like to try it on?" Constance asked. How much is it?" $1,200, but if you'd like, I can do a payment plan on your credit card, up to 4 installments with no interest." Maria did the math in her head. The money Ryan had given her, plus a little she had saved, it would work. It would work perfectly. "I want to try it on," she said, her voice thick with emotion. The fitting room was clean and spacious. Constance helped Maria put on the navy blue dress, adjusting the details with care. When Maria looked at herself in the mirror, she couldn't hold back the tears. There she was, Maria Johnson, a black woman, pregnant from the Bronx, a housekeeper, but also a beautiful, strong woman, worthy of respect and of occupying any space she chose. The dress fell perfectly over her body, accentuating her belly instead of trying to hide it. The navy blue color brightened her face, and the delicate lace added the touch of sophistication she was looking for. "You look beautiful," Constance said, emotional as well. "Truly beautiful, Maria." "I'll take it," Maria decided, wiping her tears. "I'll take this one." After changing, Maria returned to the counter to pay. Constance wrapped the dress carefully in tissue paper, placed it in a nice bag, and even included a small flower-shaped brooch as a gift. "For you to wear on the day if you'd like. It will look lovely," she explained. Maria paid, thanked her 1,000 times, and before leaving, she gave Constance a long hug. "You don't know how much this means to me," she said, her voice choked up. "Yes, I do, honey. Yes, I do." When Maria left Essence, the afternoon sun was already weaker. She looked at the bag in her hand and felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Pride. Pride in herself for having resisted, for not giving up, for finding good people along the way. She took out her phone and sent a text to Ryan. "Found the perfect dress. It's going to be beautiful. Can't wait for Saturday." The reply came in seconds. "Knew you would. Love you, Auntie." Maria put her phone away and started walking toward the subway station, but before she did, she looked back, in the direction of Madame Lavigne. A part of her wanted to go back in, show them the dress, rub it in Emily's face that she had succeeded, that she was worthy. But then she remembered Mrs. Louise's words. "We don't have to prove anything to people who don't deserve our time." She turned and walked on. Saturday was going to be a beautiful day, and she would be there, beautiful, beside the nephew she raised, celebrating victories that were won with blood, sweat, and a whole lot of resistance. Saturday dawned clear and sunny, as if the sky itself wanted to contribute to the celebration. Maria woke early, even before the alarm went off, her heart racing with a happy anxiety. Richard had returned from his trip the night before and was still sleeping soundly beside her, his arm thrown over the pillow. She watched him for a moment, grateful to have a partner who always supported her dreams even in the toughest times. She got up carefully so as not to wake him and went to the bathroom. In the mirror, she looked at her reflection and smiled. Today was the day that years of sacrifice, sleepless nights, hands calloused from so much work, would all finally gain public meaning. Ryan, the boy she had held in her arms as he cried for his lost mother, the boy she taught to read, the teenager she fought for when his grades slipped, the young man she consoled when he thought he wouldn't get into college, that Ryan would now walk across the stage as a graduate engineer. The ceremony was to begin at 10 in the morning at the NYU campus. Maria had planned every minute of her morning to avoid being late. Richard made coffee while she showered, washing her coily hair with the special cream she had bought for the occasion. Afterwards, wrapped in a towel, she sat on the bed and began the ritual of getting ready. She spent nearly an hour moisturizing her skin, applying simple but careful makeup, foundation, blush, a discreet rosy lipstick, mascara. She wore her hair down, defining the curls with cream and her fingers, letting them frame her face. When she finally put on the navy blue dress she had bought at Essence, Maria felt transformed. "My God, honey, you look beautiful. Truly beautiful," Richard said when he saw her, his eyes shining. "Do you think it's okay?" Maria asked, insecure, twirling in front of the mirror. "Okay? It's perfect. Ryan is going to cry with pride when he sees you." Maria pinned on the flower brooch Constance had given her, adjusted the small purse that matched the dress, and took a deep breath. "Shall we go?" The drive, Richard had borrowed a car from a friend for the occasion, was smooth. Maria sat in the passenger seat, one hand in her lap, the other on her belly, feeling the baby move as if it were also excited. She looked out the window and saw the city pass by, the New York she knew so well, with its contradictions, its beauties, and its wounds. "Are you nervous?" Richard asked, sensing her tension. "A little. It's a lot, you know? So many emotions at once." "You deserve this day, Maria. You deserve every second of it. No one fought harder than you for Ryan to get here." She squeezed her husband's hand tightly, a silent thank you. When they arrived at the campus, the area was beautiful. The skyline in the background, the sun glinting off the buildings, leafy trees surrounding the hall where the ceremony would be held. Graduates were everywhere in their black gowns and caps, taking pictures with their families. Maria got out of the car and immediately spotted Ryan on the steps, talking with some classmates. "Ryan!" she called, waving. The young man turned, and upon seeing her, his entire face lit up. He ran down the stairs, his gown flying behind him, and hugged Maria tightly, lifting her slightly off the ground before remembering she was pregnant. "Careful, honey. The belly." Maria laughed, emotional. Sorry. Auntie, you look amazing. What a beautiful dress." Ryan spun her gently, admiring her. "I knew you would look stunning. You're the one who looks handsome, my boy. All graduated. So important." Maria lovingly adjusted his cap. "I can't believe this day is here." "It's here because of you, and everyone is going to know it in a little while," Ryan said, his eyes welling up. Richard approached and greeted his nephew with a strong hug. Other family members began to arrive. Aunt Celia, Maria's cousin, Uncle John, a neighbor who was like family, Mrs. Rose, Maria's former employer, who had always treated her with dignity and was now there to celebrate. Everyone commented on how beautiful Maria looked, how the dress was a perfect choice. The group entered the auditorium and found seats in the front rows, reserved for the families of honorees. Maria sat down carefully, her belly already feeling quite heavy, and looked around. The hall was grand, with a high ceiling, upholstered chairs, and a large stage decorated with flowers and the university's emblem. There were hundreds of people there, all dressed elegantly, celebrating achievements. When the lights dimmed and the ceremony began, Maria's heart sped up. There were speeches from the university president, the dean of the engineering school, words about professional responsibility and social commitment. Then, they began calling the graduates one by one to receive their diplomas. Maria applauded for every name, even those she didn't know, because she knew that behind each one was a story of struggle, of perseverance, of entire families investing in dreams. And then the moment came. The name, Ryan Miller, echoed through the hall over the microphone. Maria stood up, her legs trembling, and clapped with all her might. Tears streamed freely down her face as she watched her nephew walk onto the stage, shake the president's hand, and receive his diploma. But that wasn't all. Ryan didn't walk off. He stayed there near the microphone, and the dean announced, "Ryan Miller, graduating with academic honors, would like to dedicate a few words to his family." The auditorium fell silent. Ryan took a deep breath, held his diploma tightly, and began to speak. "I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for one woman. A woman who took me in her arms when I was 3 years old and had just lost my mother. A woman who worked 3 jobs, cleaned houses late at night, sewed on weekends, all so that I could have notebooks, books, a uniform, and the chance to dream of a different future." Maria brought a hand to her mouth, sobbing. Richard held her shoulder, also moved. This woman never had extra money. She never had luxury. Many times she didn't even have the basics. But never, not for a single moment, did she let me feel a lack of love, support, or encouragement. She gave up her own dreams so that I could achieve mine. And today, when I receive this diploma, it's not just mine, it's ours. It's hers. Ryan pointed toward Maria. Maria Johnson, my aunt, my mother, my hero. This woman right there, 7 months pregnant, wearing a beautiful dress she bought after being humiliated in a boutique on Madison Avenue, just for being black and not looking wealthy. That woman is the reason I am here today. And I want everyone to know, everything I achieve from here on out, every project I sign, every building I construct, will have her name at its foundation, because she is the one who built me. The entire auditorium rose in a standing ovation. Maria was crying uncontrollably, holding on to Richard. People around them congratulated her, touched her shoulder, smiled at her with respect. When Ryan came down from the stage and walked to her, Maria hugged him with all the strength she had. "Honey, you didn't have to do that," she said between sobs. "Yes, I did. The whole world needs to know who you are." But Maria had no idea that Ryan's words would have an even greater impact. Among the hundreds of people at the ceremony was someone who knew the Madame Lavigne boutique very well. Someone who was, in fact, a long-time customer, and who, upon hearing Ryan's account, felt a deep indignation begin to burn in her chest. Her name was Beatrice Adams, a businesswoman, 52, a partner at one of New York's largest construction firms. She was there because her godson was also graduating in that class. And when Ryan mentioned the episode of Humiliation at the boutique, Beatrice frowned. She herself had been buying dresses at that store for years. She knew the owner, knew the saleswomen, and now she understood with painful clarity that the VIP treatment she always received there was perhaps not offered to all clients equally. After the ceremony, during the reception held in the campus gardens, Beatrice discreetly sought out Maria. She found her near a table, talking with Ryan and other family members, all still emotional. "Excuse me," Beatrice approached, elegant in her beige pantsuit. "My name is Beatrice Adams. I wanted to congratulate you, Maria." Maria turned, surprised. "Oh, hello, a pleasure. Your nephew's speech was beautiful, very moving, but I confess, one part of it deeply disturbed me." Beatrice spoke quietly, respectfully. "That incident he mentioned at the boutique, was it Madame Lavigne?" Maria hesitated, uncomfortable. "It was, yes. But I don't want to cause any trouble. It's over now." "It's not over, my dear. These things are never over as long as they keep happening." Beatrice took a business card from her purse and handed it to Maria. "I've been a client of that store for many years, and I never imagined that other women might be being treated differently, with prejudice. If you'll allow me, I'd like to do something about it." Maria looked at the card, confused. "But I don't want revenge, I just wanted respect. And that's exactly what we'll seek. Respect, change, so that other women don't go through what you went through." Beatrice gently touched Maria's arm. "You don't have to do anything. Just give me your permission to speak with the owner of the store." As a longtime client and as a businesswoman who does not accept this kind of behavior, Ryan stepped closer, protectively. "Auntie, you don't have to agree if you don't want to." Maria looked at her nephew, then at Beatrice, then down at her own belly. She thought about the son who was on his way. She thought about what kind of world she wanted him to find. A world where you stayed silent in the face of injustice, or a world where you fought with dignity for things to change. "You can talk to her," Maria decided, "but I don't want any drama. I want them to understand that the problem wasn't just with me. It's with all the black women, the poor women, who walk into places like that and are treated as if they don't belong." Beatrice smiled, impressed. "That is exactly what I will convey." They exchanged contact information, and Beatrice promised to be in touch with news. The rest of the day was pure celebration. Photos, hugs, good food, happy conversations. Maria felt like she was on cloud 9, surrounded by love, recognized for who she had always been, a dignified, strong woman, deserving of all the respect in the world. When they finally returned home, it was already night. Maria carefully took off the dress, hung it in the closet as if it were a treasure, and lay down, exhausted but happy. Richard fell asleep in minutes, but she stayed awake a while longer, her hand on her belly, talking quietly to the baby. "My son, you were there today, not with your eyes, but you were there. And you saw what happens when we don't give up, when we fight for dignity. Your big brother showed the world who your mother is, and I will show you, every day of your life, that no one has the right to make us feel small. No one." The baby kicked as if in agreement, and Maria finally closed her eyes and slept in peace. On Monday, Maria received a call from Beatrice Adams. "Maria, I spoke with the owner of Madame Levine this morning. I told her everything about the discriminatory treatment you received and made it clear that this is not acceptable." Maria held the phone tightly, processing every word. She tried to downplay it, but I was firm. I told her it wasn't just about punishing one saleswoman, it was about rethinking the entire culture of the store. And I suggested she call you personally to apologize. On Wednesday, Sylvie Levine called. "Maria, I offer my sincerest apologies. I've spoken with my team and I'm shocked by what happened. I'd like to offer you a gift certificate, but I'd also like to hire you as a consultant to improve our training." Maria took a deep breath, feeling the validation of her pain. "I don't want a certificate. I want respect. I've already found a store where I was treated with dignity. Essence. That's where I'll shop. But I'm willing to talk to you about training if you donate that amount to a non-profit that empowers Black women." "Done," Sylvie replied immediately. When they hung up, Maria felt different. She had transformed humiliation into purpose. That night, Ryan called excited. His senior project had been accepted for a national conference, and the company had offered him a full-time position. "This is all because of you, Auntie. And when this baby is born, he'll have two role models. You and me." Lying next to Richard, Maria reflected on everything. Resisting isn't just about enduring, it's about demanding respect. It's about turning pain into change. Richard kissed her forehead. "You've always known that, Maria. You were just waiting for the right moment." She fell asleep peacefully, her hand on her belly, feeling the baby stir. 3 weeks later, Constance called with news. "Maria, Sylvie wants to partner with me to train her employees, and she's going to promote Essence on her social media." Maria felt a lump in her throat. "You did more than get an apology. You planted a seed of change," Constance said. The days passed and Maria's belly grew. Ryan visited often, bringing little outfits for the baby, radiant about his new job. At a prenatal appointment, the doctor confirmed, "Everything is perfect. He should be here in about 3 weeks. It's a boy?" "Yes. Michael Johnson." Maria left feeling emotional. Soon she would hold her son in her arms. An imperfect world, but one with people fighting to make it better. On Saturday, Beatrice invited Maria to lunch on the Upper West Side. They talked about challenges, dreams, struggles. Beatrice touched her hand. "You are a warrior, Maria, truly." "Sometimes I just feel tired," Maria confessed. "That's allowed, but you will be an example for your son." At the end, Beatrice handed her an envelope. "Open it at home." Inside was a handwritten card. "Courage is being afraid and acting anyway. You showed that. This gift is small compared to what you deserve." With it was a check for $5,000. Maria cried, not from sadness but from gratitude. That money meant diapers, clothes, a better crib. More than anything, it meant being seen, mattering. 2 weeks later, in the early hours of an October morning, the contractions began. At the hospital, between pain and effort, Richard held her hand. Ryan waited just outside. At 8:42 a.m., Maria heard Michael's strong cry. Small, perfect, his little eyes closed. "Hi, my son. Mommy's here. Mommy will always be here," she whispered, kissing his forehead. Richard was crying, and an emotional Ryan came in. "Auntie, he's beautiful." On her 3rd day of motherhood, a nurse entered with a bouquet of white flowers. The card read, "Congratulations, Maria. May Michael grow up in a better world, and this world will be better because of mothers like you. Sylvie." Maria smiled. It wasn't complete forgiveness, but it was an acknowledgement that change matters. At home, Ryan had decorated everything. Balloons, a welcome Michael banner, prepared food. Family and friends celebrated. That night in the rocking chair, Maria whispered to her sleeping son, "Michael, you were born into a difficult world. You will face prejudice, but you will also meet incredible people. You will learn that you deserve respect, that your skin is beautiful, your history is beautiful, and Mommy will teach you to help those who need it, because we don't rise alone." Michael stirred slightly. Maria kissed his forehead and continued, "Everything I suffered, everything I fought for, It doesn't define who I am. What defines me is the strength with which I get back up, the dignity with which I demand respect, the love with which I raise you. The next morning, Michael was crying for milk. Maria picked him up, and as she nursed him, she looked out the window. The sun was rising over the city, illuminating buildings and streets. A new day, a new beginning. Maria smiled because she finally understood. The world wasn't perfect. But there were mothers willing to fight, to resist, to turn pain into strength. And as long as they existed, the world still had a chance. And so ends the story of Maria, a woman who taught us that dignity isn't asked for, it's demanded. That respect isn't a favor, it's a right. And that a mother's love can move mountains, forge paths, and transform futures. If this story touched your heart, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel and share it, and tell us in the comments. Have you ever been through a similar situation or seen someone else go through it? Share your experiences and let's build this community of stories that touch the heart. See you next time.